Well, welcome to another edition of In the Pocket. All thanks to Palmer Bet, of course. And Spot, I have to put the hand up, mate. I have got the T-shirt on. You can just see it there. But I am in. Guess where I am, big fella?
Oh, there it is. The
you haven't lived unless you got the big Bintang floppy, mate.
Absolutely.
Cost me $10 that too, to be honest.
Oh, come on. You got
mate,
ripped.
I didn't have enough time to. I got ripped, mate. I didn't have enough time to butt. I said, mate, I can't muck around here, to be honest. I said, I've actually got to. I've got to go and record a show. And I need the Bintang hat real quickly.
Absolutely. You haven't got to watch off Tony Lockett selling.
You can't make eye contact with him, Spide, can you? As soon as you make eye contact, that is it, concern. But it's a great spot, great holiday spot. And the Aussies obviously absolutely love it over here. But I'm going to take that Bintang hat off, mate. And I've got something special for you a little bit later on too, Spide. I've been kind of thinking and working out. The Tigers, I think, are in a little bit of trouble. I don't think we're going to play finals now, mate. There is a slim little bit of help there, I hope. But I don't think we're going to. So I have got my...
you've been out. Oh, here we go. You've been out shopping.
I have been out shopping, and I've got my team moving forward in the final series. That I think of the...
when the Saints go marching in.
Oh, you never know. You never know. Hey, listen, what around a footy, mate? Seriously. And every year, the same thing gets thrown up, doesn't it, Spide? And when I say that, the upsets just kept coming, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always that one round that it's only round, 3 or 4 rounds before the end of the season, just everything just collides for some reason. Everyone's thrown upside down, and it was remarkable weekend. But you go back to all the way to Friday night, and I watched this Carlton and Collingwood game like I think 1.5 million other people, and it was just fascinating. Everyone expected Collingwood to come back, but could that actually be Collingwood's Achilles heel? Was the fact that you think probably 6 or 7 games this year, everyone's talking about how good they are. They'll play in a grand final, they'll probably win it. But 6 or 7 games this year, they were behind in the first 3 quarters of that game.
Yeah,
they've only
100%.
actually won that last quarter. So they're only winning a quarter of football, not 4 quarters. It didn't turn out for them on the weekend, and that was one time. It could have happened 7. They could be sitting 6th. They could be sitting 8.
And Spide, last week we said both these sides have won their last 6. The Blues, seriously, they are in an unbelievable vein of form. And I can't believe the way they've turned their season around, big fella.
Well, and you never want to be the big man that goes down and then they turn their season around. But, I know Mackay was there beforehand, but, Kernay's just a freak. But now the small forwards know where to run. They know what their role is. They know what to do. Krebs is starting to get his hand on the ball. So, look, it's been fantastic to turn around. And look, the 2 of the biggest clubs in the competition, you want them up and firing. And, aren't I getting some text messages from Blue supporters? They've found their voice over the last couple of weeks. They are up and about. Don't worry about that.
And do you know what I loved about the whole round, Spide? Like St Kilda Hawthorn, high-scoring affair.
Yep.
Richmond Melbourne, high-scoring affair. They've been shootouts, haven't they? I think that's really exciting as an AFL follower and a lover heading into this final series.
Well, I'll get to some multis a little later on, but when you start to think Big Tex kicking 7 against Adelaide in a showdown, who would have thought Tex would be second in the goal kicking, leading or one of the top 3 or 4 Adelaide Crows best and fairest players? He kicks 7 in a showdown against the side that's sitting second. You can't write these scripts. So, and then you see GWS, Fremantle have the hardest trip in footy. They say, we'll come over with nothing really to play for. Season's just been going about, but we'll go down to Geelong and we'll teach Geelong a thing or two and carve them up in their own stadium. It was just phenomenal. Like, it's just every week. I had 0-6 Saturday night.
I know, mate. And I was having a bit of a chuckle to myself, big fella. But I tell you what, I reckon you weren't on your Pat Malone, big fella. I reckon half the country had exactly the same. It was just one of those rounds. And we certainly didn't see that Fremantle Geelong result because the Cats 2 weeks ago against Essendon absolutely smashed them down there at GMHBA. They played ordinary the week before against Brisbane, but they'd be disappointed with what they put out last weekend, Spide.
Oh, yeah, they will be. And it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back. And can they bounce back? Because, there's GWS have got them down there. And now Freo's got them down there. So they actually are pretty vulnerable in certain areas. And, they've got to make the 8 still. They're not even inside the 8. So there's only 4 rounds to go. There's a little bit of, water to go under the bridge in a lot of teams at the moment. But, it's just, even the Bulldogs, I thought, it's still, they're a good team.
Well, they were up early, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and when they get a break like that at Mars Stadium, cold and crappy Saturday afternoon against a team that had to travel, the Giants, you back them in every day of the week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I did. I thought absolute certainty is I looked at the score and it was 17-50 at one stage. And I thought, how good's this? One of my tips have come home. And then the only one I did get up over the weekend, which I thought was an absolute shoo-in, and it was the last game of the round. It was great to see West Coast get over North Melbourne. They haven't won since round 2. Celebrations are plenty. And it goes, it was just great for the West Coast supporters. 100,000 members now, and just their supporters to have something to cheer about. So it was a great round of footy, frustrating round of footy, but it was still good.
When that final siren went at West Coast, the whole crowd just erupted. It was awesome to see. And are we hitting the panic stations at the Power? I reckon we spoke about this last week, Spide. Port Adelaide and Collingwood, such a big build-up the week before, such a massive game. They left it all on the park. And both those teams, I think the alarm bells after Collingwood get rolled on Friday night kind of went towards Saturday night then. And I reckon they were a little bit flat, the Power, last week. So they've lost 3 on the trot now.
Yeah, I think, and don't worry, the Power fans are telling you about it. They don't want Hinkley. Hinkley's gone. He's back on the chopping block. They're hard to please over there in Port Adelaide.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
But I'd be
take
nervous.
him at Richmond.
Yeah, I'll be nervous. I'd still be nervous. Because there's been so much build up about those two clubs, about playing finals. They're by far, we saw the game that they played only a couple of weeks ago. And that last quarter, we said that is the best quarter of football we've seen for a lot of seasons. And it was. Yep. So it is probably coming down a little bit, but also knowing that you're guaranteed September. Yeah, you've got to win a couple more to make sure you're in the top 4, but they're there. They're guaranteed. Or just naturally, you're going to just calm down a little bit, get yourself right, and get to September and then start clicking up again. So I wouldn't be panicking too much at the moment, but I'd want 2 more wins. I'd want to confirm that I am actually.
Oh, mate, absolutely.
I want to be able to have. I don't want to be going into September 7 losses straight.
No, mate, absolutely. And you're right. The jungle drums start beating, don't they? It's a tough old world we live in, especially when you're coaching a football team in Adelaide. I reckon it's crazy. Hey, let's have a look at the Palmer Bet top 8 market. And these are the movers of the round. I'll be interested to get your thoughts by it. So the Saints, they've firmed. So last round, $2.75. They're into $2.10. Giants, $1.80. They're now into $1.50. So they've tightened up as well. The Blue Baggers, big movers. Carlton, they're $1.80, now into $1.26. This is in the space of 7 days, Spide. Western Bulldogs on the drift, $1.14 out to $1.53. Geelong, $1.25 out to $1.91. They got a tough run home. Sydney Swans, $4.20 last week, now $3.30. Richmond were $2.75 last week, now they're $3.50. Could be season over. The Crows, have a look at this one. $6 last week, nearly halved their price to $3.50. And Essendon went from $2.50 to $4. That's unbelievable market change there in the space of 7 days, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what we love about footy. You're trying to pick your who's going to take that, that space. And, the draw is coming into play now. 4 clubs have got a draw, and they're all sitting around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, look, I think, Carlton, the way they're going at the moment, the Saints needed that win. The bet for me, Geelong's a tough one. Geelong need a win this weekend, or they'd nearly say goodbye to their finals hopes. So if the Bulldogs keep winning, you'd expect there wouldn't be too many changes. But I think there's a couple of even Sydney and Richmond, they're probably a little bit short. They got a tough game. It's a hard. You got to look at percentage as well. That's the only thing with the Western Bulldogs is their percentage isn't great. So suddenly, if they get another team in there, the Western Bulldogs are out. So percentage plays a massive role.
Hey, listen, talking about the Western Bulldogs, huge game. Friday night, they take on the Tigers, Marvel Stadium, head-to-head, the Bulldogs $1.62, Tigers $2.31. At the line, the Western Bulldogs minus $9.5, Richmond plus $9.5, $1.90. This is huge for both teams. And I must admit, Spot, I actually reckon our season's it's going to be tough for the Tigers, but we can cause and we can wreak some havoc on the run home. And they'll be looking at this to kind of do that against the Bulldogs, won't they?
Yeah, I think a lot of sides, anybody in the bottom eight want to wreak some havoc and, try and muck up the other teams in the eight. But for me, look, I think the Dogs' forward line's pretty potent. Their midfield's good. At the moment, Cochin is just getting through. The real two outstanding players for the Tigers is still Dusty Martin and Shea Bolton. Like they're the most consistent players, but they can't win off those two. So for me, I'm going to stick with the Dogs. I reckon the Dogs should get a win, which will just keep them inside the eight, and I reckon they'll win by about 4 goals.
Yeah, I'm actually with you, mate. I actually reckon they're not going too bad. They'll be disappointed with last week against the Giants. Hey, this is another big game in a roundabout way, because I reckon the Bombers need some percentage. They need a bit of confidence. They take on the West Coast Eagles. Marvel Stadium, Saturday, 1:45, head-to-head. $1.06 Essendon Spide.
Oh.
Gee whiz, that's short. West Coast, $9.50. At the line, Essendon minus 50.5, $1.90. West Coast plus 50.5, $1.90. Line betting the way to go here. The West Coast Eagles aren't in that bad a nick, mate, to be honest.
No, and that's what and Bombers aren't in great nick either. So
no, that's right.
The Bombers aren't flying. The package is really struggled a bit. Good to see 2 metre Pete get a little of the ball, but the Bombers aren't in blistering form, and West Coast, they're coming off a win. God.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Their confidence is up.
Absolutely. Unless they're still on their Mad Monday. I would be if I had them run for 16 rounds. But, yeah, look, I still think the Bombers will win, but I'd be nervous taking them at the line at 50-odd points. So I think, you're a good chance to probably take West Coast at the line with Oscar Allen to kick a couple.
Hey, mate, this game suddenly got a bit of interest in it too. Adelaide taking on the Gold Coast Suns. 2:10 p.m. at the Adelaide Oval, Saturday afternoon. Adelaide, $1.36. Gold Coast, $3.17 Spide. 2 out of 3 under Big Kingy. He's done a magnificent job. Adelaide at the line, minus $18.5, $1.90. Gold Coast plus $18.5, $1.90. Little upset on the cards here, Spide, with your Gold Coast Suns. You're down there doing a little bit of ruck coaching there, they tell me.
I was there on Saturday night to watch them. I went to the races during the day, and I thought, we haven't had enough yet. We may as well go to the footy as well. So we just doubled up. And look, it was great. It was good to see, so many of their good players. We've been into Kingy for a long period of time. He kicks 5 goals, and suddenly Tuke Miller tags out.
It was great to see.
Yeah, there's so many of the players stood up. So it was fantastic. But again, we see one good week, one bad week, one good week, one bad week. And, Adelaide, on the other hand, Dawson and these blokes are, carved up Port Adelaide. Big Tex kicking 7. So it's going to be a showdown. When you've got Big Tex one side, Big Kingy the next. It's going to be a great shootout. So I think the Suns are value at $3, but I'm going to pick Adelaide.
Yeah, the Crows at home, always hard to beat, Spide. And that was a really impressive victory last week. I like what they're doing. I like the style of play too. And they've still got some good players out. When Tex is in form like he is, anything can happen. Hawthorn taking on Collingwood Saturday afternoon, 4:35, the MCG. The Hawks, $5.75. The Pies, $1.14, looking to bounce back. Hawks at the line, plus $34.5, $1.90. Collingwood, minus $34.5, $1.90. Are you back on the Pies? The Pies get the job done here. Surely don't they, Spide?
They do, but I'll tell you, Hawthorn will be pumped for this game. Sam Mitchell, he gave him an almighty spray at quarter time last week, and you know what he's going to be like. He will be saying, you know what, look at this form. Look at how they lost, and we can replicate this. And Hawthorn will. They're a side disciplined enough to manufacture stuff. And we know that if Hawks kick the first couple of goals, they're normally on. And they've got a couple of great young kids, and say, you know what a great challenge for our young kids against an absolute superstar lineup. Saying all that, I reckon Collingwood will win, but I don't reckon they'll get it all their own way. I reckon the Hawks will give them a real good run. This will be a good game. Pies will win. I think they're going to be too strong down back when you look at their back line compared to a smaller and inexperienced Hawthorn forward line. But I think it'd be still a good game.
Yeah, maybe the line might be the way to play there too. You got 34.5 points to play with. So
that's good.
If you do like the Hawks to get close enough, that might be the way to play.
Because the only other way is Collingwood smoking by 100 points, but I think Hawthorn will show something.
Yep. Hey, this game. This is massive.
Oh.
Geelong taking on Port Adelaide. The Cats looking to lose 3 on the bounce. The Power looking to lose 4 on the bounce. Saturday night, GMHBA Stadium, head-to-head. The Cats $1.54, Port Adelaide $2.49. If this market was 2 weeks ago, I don't reckon it would have been like that. Geelong at the line -11.5, $1.90. Port Adelaide plus 11.5, $1.90. The Power are going to be up and about. They're going to be real confident heading down to GMHBA, down to the Fortress, seeing some sides knock them off this year. They're going to be, and Kenny Hinkley going back to his old club, the Cats, mate. He's going to absolutely love this challenge, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, it's no longer a fortress, is it? It's no longer a fortress. Nah. Teams can get them. Teams have got them there, and it's a great challenge for the Cats. They need all their. There's just too many of their players at the moment. Just they're very good. Is obviously very, very good, but they're normally very like this. Just minimal. Yeah. Impact, win or lose. But at the moment, winning and losing, there's a big differential in the whole thing. So the Cats are going to find it. I reckon they've got to lay everything out. I'm going to back the Cats because I reckon they'll put everything out. They've got to win this weekend. They need players, players to stand up in big games. And this is a big game. So you can start from, down back to their midfield to their forwards, and they really got to stand up. And Port Adelaide, I still reckon Rosie's going to win the Brownlow. I hope Port Adelaide win because I want him to get 3 votes because I've backed him about 2 months ago. So I love that. But as a punter, I think Cats will get over the line. Port Adelaide just being found out at the moment and need a bit of a spark.
Yeah, I reckon Charlie Dixon's the key. He just looks like he's having a bit of an issue with that knee, I reckon, at the moment. He just seems to be carrying a bit, the big fella.
Been around for 3 years.
Yeah, I know. He just doesn't look stable on it or something, does he? And then he'll have weeks where he'll come out, he'll just clunk everything and, gets around the field pretty good. He is the key. He's the barometer for mine. When he's up and about, he gives that big target up forward.
The deal with Charlie, he's got enough tape on that. He should try some of the Gorilla tape. That might be a bit harder, a bit sturdier. I've seen it on television advertised, Gorilla tape. They can hold anything.
Doesn't it look good when you see the ones that they get all their calves taped up and that's like, come on, mate. I think if you're that taped up, you just give the game a miss, don't you, this week? Hey, GWS Giants taking on the Sydney Swans, Saturday night, 7:40 p.m. This is all of a sudden the battle for the bridge, they call it. This is massive. It's at Giants Stadium. Head-to-head, the Giants $1.75, Sydney $2.10. At the line, the Giants -3.5, $1.90, Sydney plus 3.5, $1.90. I didn't touch on it at the start, but I have to touch on it. Buddy Franklin announcing his retirement during the week, effective immediately, spied. I don't think anybody saw that coming, really. I think they thought he'd see the season out. But what a start, what an icon of the game Buddy Franklin has been.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I was lucky enough to play a couple of years at Hawthorn with him, and I still remember when he got his first game and I was giving him a lift to go and get some lunch, and Jared Ruffhead hadn't played a game yet, so Buddy played one, and they used to paper, scissors, rock for the front seat, and Buddy walked straight up and he goes, "Game's played."
I get the front seat now.
I get the front seat.
I love it.
He was that's just that confident. It was great. He was, every side, every person who went to the footy loved to see Buddy when he was in full flight. So disappointing he did calf. I think he wanted to get to the end of the year and say goodbye. The only thing about that, I think you can turn up to your press conference. I think, a game that's giving you 20 years and giving you everything you've got, and you've given it back too, don't get me wrong, but turn up to your press conference. If you didn't want to cry in front of the media, well, you know what? It's a part of the sport.
And I reckon Buddy is that kind. He is an emotive individual, isn't he? And I reckon that would have certainly played a part. I look at it spied like Geordie Lewis and Ruffy drafted together with Buddy in that super draft. I think it was 2001 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And Ruffy finished 5 years ago, possibly 6, and Geordie finished 4 years ago, and Buddy's continued on. I think that just shows what a superstar and what a talent he has been, and the longevity of his game, playing the hardest position on the field, centre forward at times, has just been phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he's paid Sydney back with everything he's done. He's paid the AFL community. The only issue I've got with the AFL is he's a legend of the game. He will be a legend. There will be a statue of Buddy Franklin. Why don't you do it now? Why don't you give these
Well,
legends?
while you can enjoy it.
Absolutely. Enjoy
Bathe
it.
in the
Allow
glory.
him to walk past the MCG Grand Final day and see his statue there. See the kids growing up and see that's my dad, rather than waiting until he's too old to enjoy it.
100%. They should have done the same with Warney, that stand, you know, like, if you know what I mean. Like,
because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what happens.
That's exactly right. I'm with you on that. We kind of wait till people either pass away or they're too old to kind of, you know, and generations probably can't enjoy it as much as they can't think 30 years back or whatever, you know. So, who's winning, mate? Giants or Swans?
No, I'm going the Giants. I reckon this is their finals, and the Giants will get over the line. They're just rebound is so good.
Your man Toby, mate, he's a superstar. Jeez, he was good last week.
He?
He's a freak. Hey, North Melbourne take on Melbourne Sunday, 1:10 at the Blundstone Arena down in Tassie. Kangas at $7. Melbourne $1.10. North Melbourne plus $42.5, $1.90. Melbourne minus $42.5, $1.90. Max Gore, mate, he's in scintillating form. Geez, you must love watching him being a fellow ruckman. And this weekend is ruckman round spine.
Absolutely, it is ruckman round. Celebrate those ruckmen that make this game absolutely what it is today. Absolutely great. But yeah, look, it's good to see. It's hard for Grundy because you allow Gawn to take control, and he gets best on ground. But he dragged him over the line. He got him up and running again. So, and that's what a big man should do. So he's in great shape, and he'll continue on. It'll be interesting to see come all Australian time, because there's a few big men that putting their hand up. Ryan Marshall's been great. Tommy English has had a great year. Same with Gorney when he's been in there by himself. So Melbourne for me pretty easily.
Righto, mate. St Kilda taking on Carlton Sunday, 3:20 at Marvel Stadium. This is a belter as well. Saints $2.93, Carlton $1.41. Geez, they're on fire. They've won their last 7. The Carlton Blue Baggers. St Kilda at the line plus $16.5, $1.90. Carlton minus $16.5, $1.90. Can you get them, Spide? They're red hot at the moment. Charlie Curnow's just a man mounting up forward.
Yeah, I'm going yes. I reckon they can.
You're going with the Saints?
Yeah, I'm going with the Saints because every time I go against them, they get up and then I'm shattered. So I hope I'm not putting a mocker on them, but I reckon they can. They played really good brand of footy. They're young guys up forward at the moment, mixing it up, unpredictable. Crouch and Steele starting to get their hand on the ball, but it's going to be a tough ask. At the same time, as you say, Curnow, Cripps, all their guys are starting to find it as well. But Carlton have got a couple of big outs for them. So for me, I'm going to stick with the Saints. Watching Brisbane the other day, they really struggled. They are struggling in all forms. Like, it doesn't matter if it's through the middle, they're going to tag Lockie Neal, so they're going to find that really, really tough to deal with. They're going to continue to have that. And Freo finding a little bit of faith and a little bit of form, it sets it up for a home ground advantage. For me, Brisbane just need to win. Brisbane have to win. They've really struggled the last, as you say, nearly month of footy. So I'm going to stick with Brisbane. Wouldn't upset, if Freo got up, but that's what we love about this round of footy. But for me, Brisbane need to bounce back. So I'm going to stick with Brisbane. Yeah,
Lions need to bounce back, and they need to do it quickly. Hey, let's have a look at your results last week, mate. Now, you went 3 from 9. Saturday, absolute Friday, Saturday, complete whitewash.
Disgusting.
Mate. Just forget that even happened, okay? You end up getting 3 on the Sunday. So 3 out of 9, okay, the pick 9. But I reckon that's serviceable, mate.
I'd love to see the pick 9 last week. I'd love to see what it paid. It would have been off chops.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Have to be, mate. Have to be. Too close to call. Sydney West Coast Hawthorn to win. So the Hawks the only team to let you down against your St Kilda big fella. So 2 out of 3, mate. You don't want to go against them again, as you said. And then the big day out, all kicked 3 goals. Jeremy Cameron kicked 1, 5. Joey Danaher, not 3. Yeah, 5 points, mate. Nick Larkey, 2-2. And poor old Buddy, he went 0.
Yeah, he went off early.
So but
they're getting shots.
Chances.
They're getting shots. They just got to kick them through. That's their job. How hard is it? Kicks through the big sticks.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you, big fella. So what are we doing this week, Spot? And I can just tell that there's no vodka in that. That is just Coke, big fella, all right? There's no Grey Goose in that little sucker. It's just Coca-Cola.
Give it about 8 minutes.
What are we doing?
I'm going the Doggies. I'm going the Bomb.
Right,
I'm going Adelaide, the Pies, Cats, GWS, Melbourne, the Saints, and Brisbane.
Righto, mate. Pick 9, $33.24, big fella.
Yeah.
Nice, juicy odds.
Absolutely.
Gettable this week, too.
Yeah, it is gettable. Absolutely. Now,
Right, what else? What else
I've gone my pick 4 plus 25. The time to shine for these teams.
Love it.
I've
Right,
gone the Dogs,
Yep.
GWS,
Yep.
the Cats,
Yep.
and Brisbane.
Right, they said to win by virtually 4 goals plus. That's going to be $61.94, big fella.
Really?
Palmer bet. Woo!
Oh,
that is getting up there.
That's good.
Now,
and the last one.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah, I've got to do this one. It's the big show. The big show rolls on.
I love the big show, mate.
The
I'm
big
a wrestling
show.
man.
So, Toby Green, kick 3. Certainly.
Yep.
Tex Walker, kick 3. You do that in the first. Big Charlie Curnow, he'll kick 3 in the first 5. And Oscar Allen, I'll give him all game, but Oscar Allen at West Coast to kick 3.
Get him back. Geez, that's $8.50, mate.
That's
so
good.
for Toby Green, Tex Walker, Charlie Curnow, Oscar Allen, all to kick 3+ goals. That's not bad either, mate, to sit back and watch for the weekend.
Absolutely. That's what I'm on. I love it.
Hey, now listen, mate. We always say
come on, here we
responsibly. Download the Palmer Bet app. Do it in a responsible manner, okay? That is the key. And always think about what you're really gambling with. Now, Spide, I said at the top, I'm a little bit concerned. I think our Tigers are gone. So I need to jump on and right. So just bear with me. Hold on.
All right, here we go. We're holding the fort. What team's he going for? It's got to be the Saints. Or he couldn't be on the Blue Baggers. You wouldn't do it.
I actually hope this top fits, to be honest. I don't know about the 3X. I don't know about the 3XL either, to be honest, big fella.
Oh, it's barley sizes. It's barley sizes. Don't worry about that.
Here we go, Spike.
Oh, no.
I'm on the Blue Baggers, big fella.
You can't be on the Blue Baggers.
It's Indigenous Blue Baggers top 2, mate. Go, Carlton.
Oh.
Come on, Charlie Curnow. I'm all over the Blue Baggers, big fella. Have a look at it. Have a look at that. I'm jumping on, mate. Why can't they win it? Why cannot they? They are flying, mate.
And did you get that over there at a special?
Cost me 20, mate. Cost me 20, and I chucked in the Bintang hat. It cost me 30 for these two, believe it or not. I reckon I got ripped, but I couldn't. I didn't have time to barter.
But you're looking at an absolute treat. So there we go. I reckon the Blue Baggers are absolutely every chance. I don't think they'll get to the big dance. But anyway, if they do, you've heard it here first.
I can't believe that I'm actually rocking a 3XL, mate. Surely that is barley size. That is unbelievable. Hey, listen, mate. Download that Palmer Bet app. It's going to be a wonderful round. I'm really looking forward to this back end of the season, big fella. Always a pleasure, mate. I look forward to talking to you next week, buddy.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week. And make sure it doesn't matter if you're playing AFL or if you're playing local footy. Remember, it is ruck round. Just give appreciation to that big man that makes so many of you little men look so good week in, week out. We deserve the respect. Thank you.
I love it, mate. I can't believe the AFL's having a ruck round. What about a big, slow, fat, full forward round?
That will come, don't worry.
Hey, good on you, Spy. We'll talk next week, buddy.
Yeah.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.